Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. And today we are joined with four United fans who are going to describe what is really going on. How many more defeats, how many symbolic defeats are United? How much humiliation? How many more home, how many away defeats are United going to receive this season? Joining me today is Louis, the passionate one.
Yay.
Welcome to the show, mate.
What's up, dude?
Well, Joe, the soul man, chilling out. What you got to say, Joe?
Hey, man, thank you.
We have Bems, the controversial one, Houston Red Army. What you got to say, Bems? How are you, mate?
Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing?
I'm from Florida, Tampa, the happy man. Devin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
The Fresh Kit Bandit.
What can we say? Where are United? Bottom of the table, 6 goals conceded, 1 own goal scored. Where has this all gone wrong? Who are we blaming? Eric Ten Hag, the board, Ronaldo, Maguire, the Gaia. Everyone's blaming. The press of yesterday was saying Ronaldo's the cause of all these problems, which I think they're shifting the blame from the board to take the attention away from the board and place it on one person.
You seem surprised by that.
Can I say D, all of the above? Final answer? Okay. Look, I mean, look, I agree. Like, definitely it's easy to go after somebody like Ronaldo. And again, I think it is absolutely blame shifting. From a footballing standpoint, obviously the team is not up to standard. It's not up to quality. The team, all right, there it goes. But yeah, basically, look, it's very clear that there's systemic problems at the club. For me, it definitely starts at the very top with the ownership. The board is very, very much to blame. The CEO is very, very much to blame. But I mean, obviously, come Saturday, what the product that is being put out on the field is abysmal. And of course, players have to answer for that. I mean, even David De Gea coming out, like, his gesture was kind of small, but still, I think, important. He was like, look, the 3 points, it's on me. I cost us. Like, just those kinds of things. That's something that we haven't seen. That we haven't seen it out of this squad in a very long time, for someone to actually step up and take responsibility, which was refreshing. But there are so many problems that we got to go through.
So I kind of disagree with people stepping up and taking responsibility, because for a while it was a trend on Instagram to write essays about apologizing and stuff. So
No.
I hear like all this stuff, like apology, take responsibility. I'm like, if you really take responsibility, show it in your next performance, if you're even allowed on the pitch. For
I mean, when it comes from a player, I think that is pretty much a true leader on the field. One of the very few leaders that we actually have. I think it's a positive gesture towards the other players. Like, it's like, hey man, y'all are trying to scapegoat there's a lot of finger pointing, there's a lot of other blame going on. The captain's definitely not going to do it. So I mean, yeah, I just, from that perspective, like I said, it's a very small gesture. It's a pretty, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a very insignificant gesture, but it is a refreshing gesture. That's all I'm saying.
I personally
Devin,
feel.
hold on, Joe. Devin, I mean, you went to the Brighton game, opening season, you were there, you flew all the way out there, it all went wrong. Next game against Brentford, you would have fought. You honestly, I knew it was going to be a harder game, but I kind of thought, I've kind of thought a draw the most, but the beating was just emphatically horrible.
So I will be the first one to say I predicted a 2-2 draw. I thought they would show some heart, but I also thought that they were lacking in confidence. I just didn't realize how lacking in confidence they would be. Like, it's one thing to lose. If you truly go out there and you put in a full effort and the other team was flat out better, I'd be like, yeah, I'll be disappointed, but at least you gave like your honest effort, you gave your all. When you're outrun by nearly 14 kilometers overall by the entire team, that is not putting in the effort at all.
Yeah, that would be my question. Is it a lack of confidence or a lack of effort?
Because it's both.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you pay some, like, let's put ourselves in the business owner situation, right? You pay somebody a certain amount of money, and you still got to worry about them being confident enough for them to come to work and do their jobs on those wages. Yo, what is this? Wait, what is this? What is this about confidence about these guys, man. Right? Like,
No.
how does make me understand? I know damn well if I was being overpaid to do what I do.
Some of them
Yo.
think they're underpaid. Believe me, bro.
No,
Well, it goes along. Like
no.
I have two nicknames for this squad right now. The first one is Complacency FC, and the second one is Social Media FC. And like you notice how this squad plays so much better when they didn't have crowds around. Anybody else start to notice that? It's like, and it was weird. Like, and then they went unbeaten away from Old Trafford, but for some reason they were afraid to play at Old Trafford when all the eyes were on them right there in person.
Yeah, no,
They had nowhere to hide. Like if you are afraid to play at Old Trafford in front of the fans and you're afraid to mess up and make mistakes like that, you should not be wearing this top.
No,
It's like I understand if you make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But make up for it other ways. You lose a ball, go track it down for the next 5-10 seconds, all out sprint. Do something, like put in the effort. Don't just sit there. You lose a ball and all of a sudden do the new trend in our squad is just to go out.
Yeah, it's just thinking the same thing.
Think about that though. Can you imagine joining the biggest club in England and you're worried about playing in front of fans?
Exactly. But you see, I
That's my point.
I think, as you know, if you remember, before Ole got fired, he was saying we missed the fans. When the fans now came, he couldn't handle it. He and the team froze. Let me bring in Bems. You've seen 2 defeats in a row, 6 goals conceded, 1 own goal scored. So United haven't scored any goals this season yet by themselves. They did create a few chances in the second half against Brentford. The 2 headers Ronaldo hit that went past the post from the Delos crosses. Other than that, what went wrong in that first half?
Everything. Those players are playing with low confidence and they don't care.
So early in the season, how low can you get in?
I totally agree with Devin. Confidence and no effort is definitely. You see, the thing is, what people forget is we have to remember what happened last season. It's continued on to this season. These players, these players don't care. These players are a bunch of big babies, and these players know that regardless of what they do, they're still gonna be here. It's just the manager's gonna be sacked, so they don't care. These players, they know that every week they're getting their check coming to the bank account. They do not care. After the Brighton game, after Brentford game, when you lose like that with a new manager, your first game at home, well, it was 2-1. You expect a club like Manchester United, when you lose, the players will come out, apologize to the fans, and say, look, we got to do what we got to do next time, even though they've done that in the past, but and they don't do anything about it. But the fact is that for a club like Manchester United, you have to give in your all. You have to play like your life depends on it. You have to play like I watched Liverpool today. I watched the way Diaz, that guy, he fights in the attack. He runs back to defend. If he loses the ball, he's gonna chase you until he makes sure either he gets the ball back or or the ball goes into throwing or something. That guy, like just the way they play, the effort. Now, apart from being a basic 101 of being a football player is effort. You have to give effort every time you're on the pitch, and these guys do not give the effort. And it all starts from the board, the management, the way this club is run. There's no ambition. There is no these players are not held. There's no accountability. There is no KPIs for these players. They don't care. The people to blame are the players and the board, the owners, the CEO, John Mortar, and whatever the fuck that other CEO's name is, Richard Arnold. They are all to blame. I remember last season when these players were fucking off on the pitch, and I was saying these players are to blame, and I was getting pelters in the group. I was getting my ass dripped like it was crazy, and I just can't. And I'm curious to see the people that were calling me out last season. Where are they now? Where are they saying, speak up? You're quiet. You can't say nothing. I'm gonna call. The thing about me is, I will call you out. I will say what it is. If you don't like it, you don't
All
like
you
it.
hear is crickets.
Call
That's it.
names. You got, and
All
this
is
is,
crickets.
you know what
It's
you
all
got to do
crickets.
then? Like this is your platform now where you got to start
Yeah.
saying names now.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
can call all
exactly
of
what
them
that
out.
means.
No,
like,
I'm not gonna call
Yo,
any names out.
my
but they know
brother-in-law
themselves.
Joe has been reckless.
Man,
He's-
it's ridiculous, man. I was saying this. You can't blame Ralph. You cannot blame Ralph. And
Oh,
guess what's
100%.
happened?
They blame Ralph.
sack Ralph and they
You
put
see,
Ten Hag and it's continued.
When
Now,
Ralph said 10 players
ridiculous.
need to be changed, the board told him he doesn't know what he's talking about. He said this team needs open heart surgery. It needs plastic
Mhm.
surgery, cardiac
people-
surgery. It needs every surgery medically to change that team. And he was saying it at every press conference. He was saying, as is, this team is not good enough. They don't listen to instructions. They don't follow what I tell them to do. They don't want to train because of the system they've been before. They train twice a week at their own leisure. So when he was saying this, the club felt he was damaging the brand.
Mhm.
The whole plan was
There is no
he was going
brand,
to be
man.
upstairs.
Come on.
Remember,
Yeah,
he
No,
was
there
upstairs.
there is a brand. It's just a commercial brand.
You see,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
3
I
point
remember.
some
No.
odd billion dollar brand. It's still a pretty
No.
good brand.
Stay upstairs.
The brand is shit.
Every
now.
Ten Hag will be
When you're
dancing.
losing like that,
And they'll
it's shit.
both communicate and make this thing work, recruiting the best talents within Europe. However, but when they got rid of him, and every Ten Hag, I remember his first press statement, they asked him, "Did you speak to Ralph?" He said, "No, I will do the analysis myself." Now you're seeing it yourself, because if they had spoken, he would have known what he's walking. Not to
But
not go
But
to
it,
get
but,
rid
but,
of
that-
but it's not Ten Hag's fault that Ralph is not here though. Just
No,
let that be-
No, it's not his fault.
That's the board.
I
It's his
I
fault
do
for
think
not
Ten-
talking to him.
I do
about
think
it.
Ten Hag was
That's-
wrong for not speaking to him.
That's big.
Yeah,
that I agree with.
That was a mistake, number one.
I agree with him. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think his second mistake is keeping Harry Maguire as captain. I think right now,
100%.
right now, you do not need a permanent captain. You need to give it a revolving base to different players and figure out who is going to step up, who can handle the responsibility.
I think just to answer that about Maguire being captain, I think Eric Ten Hag has no choice. I think he was told that Harry Maguire should remain captain.
Yup.
There are a lot of things that go behind the scenes in that club that a lot of people don't know. I'm telling you, I
agree.
Eric Ten Hag was told certain things when he interviewed for that job. There are certain players that you cannot mess with. Harry Maguire, Rashford,
Rashford
Luke
and
Shaw,
Bruno
and,
Fernandez.
I think Bruno. I don't know if McTominay is part of that list, but a bunch of like 4 players.
That he has to try and improve them.
He has
Not
to
get
improve.
rid of them.
He has to get the best out of them, and Harry Maguire was one of those players. Harry Maguire has to remain captain. A lot of people don't know this. They won't believe it. Just look at it. Ralph, Harry Maguire, he kept playing him, but he did drop him a couple of times. He was trying to send a message, but he had no choice. But he was told to keep playing him. Now Eric Ten Hag, they're asking him, "Who's your captain?" It's going to be Harry Maguire. Something's going on in the back of the scene. No one knows.
Yo, but no, for real, Bims. Like, why is this club so loyal to Harry Maguire? I just don't freaking get it.
The
though.
thing is,
he doesn't make us
cost
that much
them
money.
$80 million.
The club
No,
is
but
a
Chris,
business.
how much
He doesn't
money
make us
are
money. He
80
cost us
million
money.
sitting on the ground, sitting on the bench, and not being utilized. That's a waste.
Wait.
So there's like, if you
This
have
club
him,
has no problem with that though. How
Just to
long
say
did
how
Sancho
stupid
stay
the
on the
club
bench?
is. Just to say how stupid the club is. What's his name? Varane is on 300 grand, sitting on the bench.
On the bench.
Maguire is what, 200 grand? They have, but what about Varane? The
So-
reason why is because Varane is not English.
No. Varane is an injury. Varane is like a pampered bae, where it's like he's constantly hurt, and so like you never know when you're gonna consistent running. I think that's why he
Can
doesn't.
I add?
let me bring Louis in. Louis,
Let me say this about that situation. The difference being, right, is yes, Varane's on 300K a week. Harry Maguire's on 2 something a week. The difference is somebody else will be willing to pay that 300 for Varane per week. You can sell Varane. You cannot sell Harry Maguire.
I don't think so. I don't think
Who
Who is the better chip? Who is the better bargaining chip? and it's
Varane
definitely
is,
not
but
Harry.
you cannot sell
can't-
Varane. I'll
but
put
this
it
team can't sell
nobody's paying.
You
Varane
can't sell him
300K.
now, obviously.
No one's paying Varane 300K, but us. I'm just telling you that. No one's
Exactly.
paying him 300K. No
No,
club.
he's looking at it. Might not be the same 300,000, but who's sellable? Varane is more
Varane is
sellable.
sellable.
Varane is more
Varane is
sellable,
sellable.
yeah.
Because
Harry
his
Maguire
transfer fee will be
cannot
No one's
walk
gonna
into
buy
a top
Harry
6
Maguire.
team.
Varane is one thing. Harry Maguire
No,
has been
Varane is sellable. Yeah.
Harry Maguire has
But-
got
but
the
the
Ballon d'Or
board
being
sees-
relegated.
The problem,
All the
the-
board sees 80 million not being utilized. So they're saying, well, I think in his contract, it's like if he's not injured or suspended, he has to play. I think that's what the contract would be probably agreed to.
Yo,
If
but
he's not
how
injured,
does-
if he's not
Yo,
suspended,
who signs
have to
that kind
make-
of contract though?
John
What's
Murtaugh and
the
Richard Arnold.
contract?
John Merchant and
Woodward.
Richard Arnold.
It was Ed-
Wow.
Oh, no,
But-
sorry. Well, actually,
It was Ed Woodward at the
Ed
time.
Woodward,
Seems like
Ed Woodward at the time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
kinda
at the
seems like-
time.
Yeah, that's better.
It kind of seems like if there was if
But
there's
John Murtaugh
if there's
and Richard
stipulations
Arnold are
like
no
that,
different. They're no different from
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
kind of like if those
that's
are
what
kind
that's what it feels like right now. Because I remember I came on here like when Richard Arnold first did that whole sit down with the beers and everything like that, and I was saying, all right, he's saying all the right things. Let's wait to the end of the transfer window to see if he backs up what he's saying. And
I
right
think-
now, he has not backed up what he's saying. So I'm
Number
trying.
one.
I am trying as hard as I can to follow my own advice and not comment on it until the 31st. But time's running out.
What I think has become abundantly clear, and I think that no one will argue, is that this club, especially the leadership of this club, will refuse, absolutely full stop refuse to admit a mistake.
Yeah.
If you have
Very
an
correct.
$80 million player like Harry Maguire and you don't play him, that's admitting a mistake. If you have an $80 million player like Harry Maguire and you turn around and sell him for, what can we get for Harry? 25 on a good day? That is a huge loss. It's a huge mistake, and it's something that they'll have to own up to, that they will absolutely not own up to. Why? Because again, it is about the brand. It is about the dividends that they can pull. It's about making the shareholders happy, even though the majority of them are, one family. It is about that aspect of it. It's not about the football aspect of it at the end of the day. That does in turn make for an extremely toxic work environment. It makes for an extremely toxic locker room. So you have players like Bruno Fernandes, who Bems will tell you, I freaking 2 years ago, I rated so hard. I thought Bruno was going to be the savior from afar. I'll admit that I was wrong. Like, this guy is perpetually a baby on the field. He's perpetually day in or week in, week out, playing bad football. And is he quality? Absolutely. I still think he is. I think his technical ability is still there. But at the end of the day, he flat out refuses to step up, because what is he playing for? He's playing for a toxic freaking club that top to bottom is rewards bad behavior. And that's really what it is.
Before I head out, I do have one comment on the Bruno situation, because it was something that that photo is hilarious. So did you notice that all these antics and whatever else that he's doing now, it didn't start until Ronaldo came back. So I am curious what happens after Ronaldo leaves, whether it's the end of the season, whether it's his transfer window, depending on what happens. I am curious if it continues.
Well, he's not like that in the Portuguese national team.
See,
I think his form has even dropped in the national team.
No,
Yeah.
but even before
Like,
Ronaldo
I don't think
came,
that-
he
I don't
was
think-
struggling towards that season. That season we went to the final of the Europa League. He was struggling. It was the midfield who were just trying to.
Yeah.
It was the midfield who were the Cavani. They were chipping in, but he was literally disintegrating slowly, missing. They went into the new season with Ole last year, and it got worse. And he's not been the same.
Frankly, I
What
think
is that for
what
Portugal?
We have too many players that have jumped off cliffs.
there is something going on. I'm telling you guys, there is no way that we can see all these players all of them are not shits. There is no way we have a squad where 95% are completely shit. That is not possible. That club,
It's an attitude problem.
that club
Player power.
is in these players have been given so much power by the board, by the owner.
Yeah.
These players are not held accountable.
Preach,
players know.
preach,
Snaps.
These
preach.
players know that they can do whatever they want to do, and they're gonna get their checks every week.
Preach,
They're gonna get
preach,
new
brother,
contracts
preach.
because at the end
Okay.
of the day,
So at
we
this
are
point
a
now,
brand.
what
We're commercial.
what can they do? What
We're not
can we
wrong,
do?
Will.
To
Huh?
comment on
They've
The
lost
only
Brighton.
way, we go, the only way this shit changes. I'm sorry to say this. No one's gonna like me for saying this, but the only thing that's gonna change is if United keep losing. I mean, when I keep losing, we need to keep losing to the point where we're fighting for relegation. We might need to get close to, or if not get relegated, we need to. All these sponsors need to drop us. Guarantees. We need to lose so much for these Glazers to leave. We might have to get to a point where this club falls so low that we become like the way Newcastle was. I'm telling you, that's what I see. I don't see these Glazers.
I think
I don't see
as
them
much
selling
as
this
that is
club anytime
possible,
soon.
but I think they will do what it takes to stop you getting to that point.
No, they won't.
Yes.
They
Because
won't.
So I would like.
will.
It's funny you brought up
They
Newcastle
won't. They won't.
because
They
Newcastle
are-
and AC Milan, their fans protested the owners out. Technically, if you think about it from that standpoint,
Yes.
so it's like eventually, I think what needs to happen is Ten Hag needs to clear house, bring players in, start playing some youth players who are hungry, are going to run. Like right now, I think a lot of these players who are out there right now need to send a message right now. Start sending them to the bench. Just start playing a bunch of youth right now who are actually going to run and play for the badge.
I think
Like,
we've
we
already
all- we
said
all-
though.
we
I
all
don't
knew-
think
we
I don't
all
think he
knew
has the
this was
ability
going to
to
be
do
a
that.
this is going to be a long-term project.
I
But
don't
some of
think
these
he
players
has
are
the
too
power to
pampered
do that.
and will not budge. So
Let me ask you a question.
that is what I've been wanting to
Let me ask
see.
you that. Louis, do you think
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag is being backed enough? Yes or no? I mean, transfer window ain't closed yet. Is he being?
Is that a
Give me
serious
enough support.
question?
It's a serious question, man.
Is that a serious question?
100%.
Has he been backed enough? He hasn't been backed at all. He hasn't been backed at all. And not only has he not been backed, he's run into the problem that Ralph and Ole and Mourinho and they all ran into, in that they are literally coaching this football club with one hand tied behind their back, because they're not allowed to drop Harry, and they're not allowed to drop Rashford, and they're not allowed to drop Bruno. They're not allowed to drop McFred. Of course he's not being backed. Of course,
So-
the only person, just to kind of expand on what you guys were saying earlier, the only one that shows up week in, week out to do their job is the fans. The fans are what keep this club afloat. The fans are what keep the brand what it is. And the fans, unfortunately, are the reason why the Glazers won't sell, is because they know if they throw a little bit of money at the problem, if they get a Frankie de Jong by Saturday, which apparently they said they're going to do, they know they'll sell shirts. They'll know that it will
Keep the
put a
fans quiet,
Band-Aid on it for the next, little while. Maybe they're probably not going to make Champions League next season, but they'll probably make it the season after that, because that's what we do. We usually go 1 in, 1 out. We'll probably go 2 out just because we're playing like horseshit. But they will fix the leaks, right?
Really,
But the mast has fallen. And that's really what it is. Like, yeah, we're staying above water, but we have no way to steer. You see what I'm saying? And that will continue to perpetually be the problem. Now, apparently there's a mass protest happening this weekend, and that you're trying to get people to not go to the stadium. I personally don't think it's going to work, but I mean, it does send a message. But regardless, if this club goes down to League 2, the fans, we love this football club, and we always will. It's our club. I mean, Millwall still has people showing up. People are going to show up for United. It's just the
Newcastle's got
Right.
the
Joe,
some of the
same
hottest
question.
fans out
Quickly,
there.
same question.
Same question. What's the question again?
Is he being backed enough? Does he need more backing? How much more backing? Because I remember what Richard Arnold said. The money's there for Eric Ten Hag. He said that at the pub. Whether he was drunk when he said it, I don't know.
off of one
Because
beer.
He was literally talking out his arse at the moment, man.
Nah, obviously he wasn't, man. I'm gonna go ahead and take it even further and confirm what Bam just said. Yeah, it's looking like Richard Arnold is Woodward 2.0. It's looking, because the same moves. We're running the same playbook. There was no change in the playbook. We're running the same playbook. were playing footsie with third-rate players that have gone to China. Like, I don't know what it is about players that have been to China that we're trying to scoop up, right? We're not backing the manager, and we are perpetuating a system in which certain modes,
maybe we can get
attitudes,
Iniesta.
It's crazy. But the thing is, it's almost as if like it's a survival technique, because they know that they are inefficient, and the only way to stay in power when you are inefficient, you have to surround yourself with inefficient people. And unfortunately, because of the fans, they made a really good bet with the fans of Manchester United, because it doesn't take much for us. Like, it's hard to be this much of a fan of Manchester United. It's hard to have a fan base like this and think the way BAMS does, because that level of fandom requires so much like
dedication,
raw,
right?
yeah,
Dedication.
just so much raw, because it's so much raw look at reality as like this. We can do it this way, but chances are the only way we can do it is this way. And we have so much pride in the team, so much pride in ourselves. There's so much, the team is so much part of our lives that we couldn't stand being shit for 2-3 years and have friends from Arsenal and Liverpool and City, and a lot of us are trying to avoid that. So whenever we get like just a little bit of crumbs that makes it seem like we're about to turn it around, we jump on it, where in reality we need to stay focused about this.
Let me quickly jump to Devin before I come back to Ben. Devin, quick, same question. Backed not enough for what's the situation? But they would say that they're both free players. One was free, so I don't know. They've only spent 55 million.
So let's be realistic here about this. You say, how many of them were actually first choice? I would say Malacia. Malacia looks promising. Because Ericsson was a free, so to me that's a no-brainer. That one I agree with that. That's a free one. Somebody who, once you play him correctly, he will be beneficial. And if you remember, we were actually not after Martinez. We were after the other center back at first, and we ended up having to get the next one.
Yeah.
So you think about it this way. You asked me, has Ten Hag been back properly? I think everybody, I think my answer is very obvious about this, especially when we all, I mean, if we actually have De Jong in by Liverpool, I am probably going to buy 100 lotto tickets. I'm just being that.
It's so bad. I would take a 2-0 defeat. I'll be happy with 2-0 defeat.
So I am just being realistic about this. He has not been back properly. It's like I said before with that meeting with the pint, and I said I'm giving him to the end of the transfer window. So I am biting my tongue, but as I said before, time is running out, because I will definitely be very thorough and in depth at the end of this transfer window once all of it is done. Because I mean, we'll see.
Thanks.
Okay.
Ten Hag
is not.
I wonder what he's thinking now. I wonder what Ten Hag's going through his mind.
Ten Hag is furious. He's furious. Ten Hag is furious for sure. I can guarantee you that. Ten Hag is not backed. Ole was not backed properly. Mourinho wasn't backed properly. Every single manager from Alex Ferguson, even Fergie wasn't even back well when under the Glazers.
He barely made the last one with Van Persie.
So I'm going to tell you this now, right? For even if United go out and get De Jong, we get whoever. Let's say we get De Jong, we get Telemans, right?
Yeah,
and we get a striker. I'm still not rating a good window. You know why? Because for this window to be a good window for me, you need to sell like 6 players. Exactly. Not only bring in, 10. You need to bring in at least 5 more, at least 5 10. More players, and sell at least 6, 7 players. In fact, in my opinion, for this transfer window to be considered a good transfer window, this whole starting 11, by the time we hit next summer or next December, it should be a completely different 11, completely different. That's the way and you need to sell a whole bunch, which is not going to happen. Because this club, they've shown that they can't sell players because you give players stupid contracts, and when they come here, their value drops because we're not playing well, we're losing games. The value drops. It's hard for you to sell them on those wages that you put them on. I'm going to say another thing. I remember a few years ago, people were saying, oh, this is going to be a 3-5 year plan. Oh, there's something going on. Oh, you can see we're playing well. We're winning games. How many games we win under Ole? Oh, Ole was able to get these players to play. Oh, there's something going. And I always said this. I said, look, man, forget what you're seeing now. There's issues within this club. This is not, we are going to go down. For this club to change, for this club to improve, these owners need to leave. It is plain clear. They need to leave. However, I am willing to go. I'm willing to go 3-4 years of not winning. I'm willing to go through this club being relegated. If that's what's going to take to get the Glazers to sell the club. Because the one thing that is not helping us is us, the fans. Just like Joe said, when we see a little bit of hope, we jump on it. The Glazers get you De Jong. Oh, you guys get happy. Everybody's happy. But you're not helping the situation. We should be protesting and be angry at these Glazers. Whether we beat Liverpool 2-0 or 1-0, which will never happen, it's not possible. Regardless of what happened, you guys need to stick together and still push these Glazers out. I'm willing to go the extra mile. I'm willing to go through like seasons. I'm happy if we don't win a game this season and we get relegated. I'm happy. It hurts me deep inside. That's not what I want, but because I know it's gonna get me closer to what I want as a fan. As these owners leaving, I will take that pain.
Yeah,
short-term pain. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. That's where I am.
It's looking like the rot is a lot bigger than we thought on this apple, right?
I think so, Joe. I'm beginning to agree with that. We
need to make a much bigger cut, but it's too many of us are fine with tasting just a little bit of sour part.
What if Ten Hag signs? If De Jong signs on Saturday, watch the fan base. Just watch the fan base. We win our next game. Watch the fan base.
It's sad to say, but we fans are our worst enemies.
If we fuck around and beat Liverpool, right? There's going to be like a good 20% of the fan base that are not going to think about the transfer window moving forward. They're going to think, ready. We ready to go.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That's what happens every season. We beat Liverpool. Oh, well, we should be fine. And guess what's going to happen? Next week, we're going to get beat by the next.
Just like I told you, people. I
Yo,
spoke to a lot of fans.
Beating Manchester City.
The preseason, we look so good in preseason. I said, you cannot judge a preseason summer tour on this is the real deal. That's crap to me. That's just crap. I don't believe in preseasons. I don't believe in summer tours. That's just to experiment new players into a system. But that doesn't say how good you're going to be because it's nonsense. Right. It really is nonsense. I've seen United fly through preseasons and come to the real season and see where we are.
Beating City in Houston was the worst thing that happened to us that season. It was the worst thing. Like, we got gassed, bro. We got gas.
That was the season we lost by 22 points in the final.
That was the season we lost. That was the season we lost Rooney, and I knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
Rooney left right before that game, and I was like, man, no Rooney. This is going to be rough. Yeah, you want to talk about leadership in the club, man. You know,
I remember a couple years ago when we came second, playing behind closed doors. Some fans were saying, "Oh man, but we were the second best team in the league." That means
against a COVID-ridden Liverpool.
I kept saying this. I said that second place
on this show.
That second place,
Ole did well for coming second. But I said, look at the circumstances we came.
Oh man, that second place was a
depleted Liverpool team, a Chelsea team that was cutting to Lampard destroyed the first half. Tuchel had to stitch it together to get them.
Yeah.
Had that not happened, United would not be getting second. But we say Ole did well. He did not do well.
He did not do that. That was a fluke second place behind closed doors. Now, okay, can we get second? I mean, the reason why I'm talking like this is because I've been consistent. You guys know me. I've been consistent for the past 4 years.
I've been saying the same thing, singing the same song. I get pelters every week. I get yelled at every week. I get, you think you're a manager, Bams? Oh, you think you're the best football player, Bams? Oh, Bams, you think you know everything, Bams? But guess what? I'm not trying to say that I know everything. I don't. But it is not hard to see what's going on with this club. I've been saying the same. And for those people that keep calling me, I'm calling you out now. Speak out. Let me see your face. Speak out. What are you going to say now?
Yeah,
You're so
Chris.
negative, Benz. You're so negative.
What are you going to say now? I've been saying this, right?
Right.
What are you going to say now?
So as it stands, we've got Liverpool next. Liverpool, some fans still believe Liverpool are not on form, but I will tell you this. Liverpool are not on form, but they have what it takes to turn the game around, which we don't have. We went a goal down in 6 minutes against Brentford, or was it 4 or 6 minutes, whichever the case is. Then they went a second goal down. The heads dropped. I remember the camera pan to Ronaldo saying, "All right, we can still do this."
Yeah.
You know, after the first two. Then
Yeah,
the
he
third,
did.
It's so much as in the manner in which the goals were considered. United were camped at the Brentford end of the field. How Brentford were technically aware to know where the players were to look at that fourth goal. Do you feel Luke Shaw could have done better? I would take a free kick and before it got to the 18, take a red card and consider free kick. Take a
I
red.
would have, I
Yeah,
would have definitely gotten
take
a straight red
something.
for that one.
But look at that
No
third
fight.
goal. The fourth goal. It reminded me of that Champions League game when we went. I can't remember who we played. We had everyone going for a corner kick. Only Matic was left, and he had to chase this guy who he could not catch.
Yeah. That was against Young Boys.
No. It wasn't your boy.
No, it was the Turkish team.
The Turkish
wasn't it?
team.
It
Yeah.
was like it was.
Was it Besiktas? No. Who did we
No,
have?
it was the team
wasn't it?
that was the worst team in the group.
They beat us
Wasn't
2-0,
Besiktas
right?
in our group?
It was what's his name that scored. It was what's his name that scored the Chelsea goal against
Liverpool.
Slippy G. He
The black
slipped
guy
and he
who scored
scored.
against
Yeah, the guy that scored the
Stevie Gerrard
goal.
scored the
Oh,
goal.
I think I know you're talking about. What's his name again?
Dembaba.
Dembaba. Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
was
it was.
reminiscent
that
of
was
what happened on Sunday,
That was
on Saturday.
Istanbul.
That was a low.
It's Istanbul. You're right.
Istanbul. Yeah,
Istanbul.
yeah,
It was Istanbul.
That
Yeah,
was the
I was
only-
close.
Bro,
That was
a
the
low
same
game.
group that had RB Leipzig and PSG. Istanbul was the only team to beat us in that group. They couldn't beat anyone else but us because United took 10 players to the front for a corner kick and left Matic back. They left the slowest player behind. And Dembaba said, "See you later, mate. I'm out of here." And go. It was similar to the fourth goal on Saturday.
That's crazy. That was so long ago, man. But we've had so many.
Was it though? Was it that long ago?
Okay, so it seems like it was ages ago because we've had so many more of those kind of moments in the last few years. The Liverpool games, the City games.
The Brighton games.
But this is
We've
just
had so many poor
this is just
performances.
Yeah.
How do you camp in a team's area, lose the possession they lost the ball in the 6-yard box. Brentford made one pass, long pass, they were done. Luke Shaw, I don't know if he was on the wrong side of the guy. I don't know what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I really don't know what he's trying to do there.
Do you guys check this out, right? I don't see where we win the game, bro. Did you watch who watched the Liverpool Crystal Palace game today?
I saw highlights.
I watched it.
I'm sorry, but Crystal Palace, they will destroy us, guys. When I mean destroy us, they will destroy. The way those guys were the way they were organized playing against Liverpool at Anfield, man. The tactics that Patrick
was that Anfield or Selhurst Park?
It was Anfield.
Damn.
It was at Anfield. Patrick
Yeah.
Vieira got his tactics spot on.
Yeah, he really did.
When I mean these players there are 19 teams in the Premier League that play as a team. They put the effort into it. They put their minds and souls into it. There is one team that doesn't do that, Manchester United. I'm sorry to say this, Manchester United does not deserve to be in the Premier League this season.
Okay.
We are the worst team in the Premier League. That Crystal Palace Liverpool game, I watched that game and I saw Crystal Palace. Even though Liverpool had more ball possession, they kept pressing,
Which was this
driving. Definitely was expect, but then so it it was Zaha that scored. It was a counter. He scored in the first half, making it 1-0. In fact, if Zaha could finish his food well,
What about
it could have
Diaz
been
scored?
2-0. It could have been 2-0 because he had a chance. He had a chance in the second half that would just, it was sprayed across the 6-yard box, and he used his right leg.
So-
If he used his left leg.
Yeah,
that could've
Diaz
directed it.
Diaz scored.
Diaz
Diaz
scored.
scored.
Diaz scored, making it
This is-
1-1. Diaz
Yeah.
scored, making it 1-1. But that was a moment of brilliance.
So,
Yeah.
guys,
But
the
if you
last game we
watch,
Oh,
just seen,
Zaha.
the last
Couldn't
game
understand
we
what
just
you
saw, we just saw a horror show. The Brighton one was bad enough at home. First game of the season, no good. Where they said the optimism, the new vision has evaporated so quick in 2 games. So the Brentford game, 4-0 in 36 minutes. Who was it? The defense that was so bad? I was just going to say, oh, De Gea made so many blunders, or was it the midfield that completely collapsed and capitulated as to
bro,
Brentford?
man, the midfield is a
Let me
starting
also
point.
go to Lewis.
Clearly what disrupted any flow that we did have in like the first 7 minutes, because we did control the majority of the possession for that time. It does dissipate when De Gea makes 2 very, very clear errors and gives up 2 goals. That can be said. After that, yeah, the midfield collapsed. Martinez needs, if he's going to go forward as a defender, not even forward, just pressing a little bit higher, has to have a pacey pairing in the center back with him, and he doesn't. He has Maguire as the captain and as the veteran center back in that back 4 has to be able to organize, which he clearly was unable to. You know, whether you feel that, you know, the fullbacks had a bad game or not, I mean, they don't listen to him. Doesn't matter what he says. He could shout. He could talk to him. He could try to organize that back 4, and he doesn't, because he can't, because he's not a leader and he doesn't deserve the captaincy. I think Sancho had like maybe 1 or 2 chances in the first half. I think Rashford had like 1 that he clearly botched. The front 3, even Ronaldo, he's running around and he's making some runs, but he's very non-threatening the entire game. It's all over the place. It's very systemic. But what is very clear, and I think what you just said, is what the style of play that Erik ten Hag is going for. They have already decided that they are either incapable of, or they feel like they don't have to do it. And it's very clear that they feel that they don't have to do it. And we talk about bringing young players in that. But if your central players refuse to play that style of football or refuse to work together, then, I mean, fuck all when we go to Liverpool. Like, everybody's talking about, oh, Liverpool are out of form and maybe we could steal one. Maybe we can get a stunner. The difference is Liverpool cares about this rivalry. Liverpool beating Manchester United doesn't matter if Manchester United's 20th, doesn't matter if they're playing a second division Manchester United in an FA Cup. The rivalry means something to them, and best believe come the Liverpool game, they're going to come with it. Even if their touches are sloppy, even if they feel like they're off, they're going to bust their ass to beat Manchester United, just to get on social media, just to go to their fans and say, yeah, we did it again. And that's what we're going to run into this weekend. It's going to be a fucking horror show.
Bams. The game, the Brentford game now, Louis has broken it down. The defense collapsed after 2 catastrophic mistakes from De Gea. The midfield literally collapsed. So the attack never got any balls. The few balls that went into the box from the low that Ronaldo had to head on, it is what it is. It was an overall bad day in the office.
Okay.
Was there anything good? Was there anything in that game that United have learned from? Well, Brentford, they just made Brentford look so good.
No. We didn't learn anything. Well,
we learned not to play Eriksen at Brentford because he got
we,
freaking annihilated by the fans.
as far as learning anything new, we didn't learn anything new that we didn't know. It just further confirms that these players, when we go 1-0 down, their heads drop, their confidence goes to the floor, right? It's just, and that's to tell you how deep these problems are. We can't afford to concede. So De Gea makes a mistake. People make mistakes. That game, if De Gea doesn't make that mistake, it's probably a different scoreline. I'm not saying we win though, but maybe it's a different scoreline. But De Gea makes a mistake, and as he's made that mistake, the whole team is carrying. They're carrying this low confidence, this issue from last season, which is still not corrected, and it's happening again. They're falling into the same pattern. So
well, they were flying in preseason. They were
the preseason, because
there's no pressure in preseason.
There's no pressure. There's nothing to play for.
Yeah, exactly.
These players, when you put them in a situation where they have nothing to play for, they perform. But when they have their backs against the wall, and all this stems from, like, I mean, these players are not total shits. I don't believe they're total shit. I don't believe that. I just feel certain things have happened under, and I feel when Ole was manager, Ole babied these players so much, right? He babied these players so much.
I think he was told to.
Well, but the thing about it is that he did that.
Whatever it is, he did it.
Whatever he did, he
definitely
did it. But now we're suffering from it seasons later. Whatever he did then, it might have worked then, but it made things worse. Things have even gotten worse. So in that Brentford game, the players were low in confidence, and when their confidence went down to shit, the effort just ran out the door. And there was nothing we could do.
2-0. At 2-0. Did you think United could come back at 2-0?
Look, before the game, I came into our bar, and I said United are going to lose today. I knew we were going to lose before the whistle was blown. It wasn't at 2-0. I knew we were going to lose. And I'm going to tell you this. We will lose on Monday against Liverpool. Liverpool will look at Brentford, at the Brentford United game, and say, look, we got to go for 6.
Yep. I agree.
So that's it.
Joe,
we ain't winning any games in August.
Bro, I mean,
No way.
Yeah, I mean, like the only thing that was learned last game, it was the league got a good lesson. The league knows exactly how to beat us, bro. And if we don't make changes to that, if we don't make changes to that squad and that midfield, especially that midfield, right? Managers will now have to be upset at their players if they don't take advantage of this Manchester United squad. And
100%.
either at the very minimum, these managers and these teams, it doesn't matter what position they are on the table, they should at least be optimistic to get a point from us. And that's across the board, bro. But I don't think we've learned anything at all. But we'll see.
Right now, Old Trafford has become a training ground for 19 teams.
Yeah.
So the situation, as you heard,
Damn, that should be on a t-shirt.
Ten Hag brought them in early on Sunday. The day of they come in, that because Brentford ran 14 kilometers faster and covered more distance than United. So he brought them in and made the players run and run and run. But is this just out of frustration, or is this what should be done on a regular basis?
No, it should be done on a regular basis. But the thing about it is, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what that extra training session on Monday, if it did anything. I don't know. I'm curious to see if we would only find out on Monday if it changed anything. I don't know. But I mean, Ten Hag is doing all he can do, man. He's doing all he can do. I will say against the Brentford game, I would say he made some mistakes. There was some position. I mean, playing Eriksen as a 6. I mean,
right move.
That was iffy. You don't put Eriksen as a 6, not in Premier League, man. You don't do that. But I can see why he would do that. I'll put it this way: if we were on our game, if we were playing well, we were winning games. Playing Eriksen at 6 is not a bad thing, right? Because we should be able to play Eriksen at 6 and beat Brentford.
Yeah.
We should be able to put a midfield out of Bruno,
Yeah.
Bruno Eriksson, and who else?
McTominay and Fred.
No. Forget McTominay. Who else is? Who else?
Like McTominay can't
we
beat
played
anybody
Fred
in the
here,
league this season.
Huh?
McTominay and Fred
I'm
can't
trying
beat
to think of
anybody in the
someone else.
league.
Yeah, I mean, you should. Who else did we get? Well, I guess we don't have no one. So I guess
We
you
have
play
Fred, McTominay, Bruno, and
Jimmy
Eriksson.
Garner?
That's our midfield.
Jimmy Garner.
Or you have Garner, but I mean,
And we
again,
have
if he's on his way, if he's on his way
Hannibal
out,
is about to be.
Yeah, he's about to be gone.
Yesterday,
We are fucked, man.
Hannibal's about to be loaned out to Birmingham City for the season.
Yeah, he deserves. He needs. He's not gonna get game time. I mean,
What about Zlatan?
the thing is the real roots of this the whole squad is shit, right? They're not just totally shit, but they are shit. They're playing like shit. They're showing themselves to be shit. But there are players in there, but their heads are so big and they don't care anymore. But
So
if we can repair that midfield, just
Mhm.
bring it. If we can bring in De Jong is going to make
Where
a
would
difference.
where would De Jong play? I'm curious. Where would he play? Who's he
De Jong is-
replacing?
Come on, bro. That's not a question, man. Like,
It is a question. The people want to know. People
okay,
want to know.
if
They're gonna replace McTominay.
he's gonna replace. He's gonna replace.
Whoever McTominay's trying to play.
I mean, what I'm thinking. I'm
Will he,
thinking.
though?
I'm thinking Ten Hag is bringing De Jong to come in and he's gonna replace McTominay. McTominay or
So
Fred.
you're gonna have
whatever, because you
McTominay,
know
Fred,
he plays
and
with
Bruno,
double
right? You're gonna have McTominay, Fred, De Jong, Fred, and Bruno. Is that the midfield?
I'm gonna
No. I'm gonna say even like whoa. It's either De Jong, Donny, or
Oh, I
either
forgot. Donny.
Eriksson
Donny's the guy I was
or
trying to remember.
Bruno. We can't
Yeah,
have
I'm
both
gonna-
of them on the pitch. At the same
I'm gonna pull a Bems right now
Right.
and say
Louis, go on.
if De Jong comes in towards this football club, Fred McTominay stays and Bruno is dropped. Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't, but that's what's going to happen.
I mean,
Wow.
No, because
who's
no,
gonna pass
because
the ball
De
to our
Jong,
forwards?
because De Jong doesn't
De
play.
Jong-
De Jong doesn't play
So
10.
De Jong, isn't he an
Jong
attacker?
Of
plays
course,
8 or
he
6.
doesn't. He
He plays
doesn't.
8 or 6.
But I'm telling, of course he doesn't. But I'm telling you what's going to happen.
No.
Because
no.
why
No,
is
no,
it?
no, bro.
Why is it that this
Come on.
pairing hasn't been dropped for what
No,
4 managers?
De Jong is coming to replace Fred and McTominay. He can't
You-
replace Bruno.
yeah.
They play different positions.
Wait,
They play
are you saying
different
that like
positions, bro.
are you saying
Bruno's a 10.
like where
De Jong
would
is not a
where would
10.
De
De Jong
Jong
is an
play?
8,
Yeah, De Jong is not
6.
playing a 10. Because
De Jong
even
doesn't
if
play 10.
wait,
Go on,
so
Joe.
even wait, listen. even if
Again,
De
you
Jong
guys.
plays
Here's the problem, though. Here's the
Hold on,
problem.
let John-
Here's the
John-
problem.
even if De Jong plays exactly how you think he's gonna play, you still have to worry about McFred and their inability to work around the press. They're constantly passing backwards. They lose the ball. They're just not intelligent enough. You need intelligent players around De Jong, right?
But
So
they
that's
won't
why.
be. But they won't be dropped. But they
No,
won't be dropped.
I think they'll-
Louis.
Yeah.
There is no way I will bet money with you on this, right? If De Jong comes, you will not see Fred and McTominay together on the pitch. I can
I
guarantee you
won't go
that.
that far, bro.
My only.
No. I can. There's no way because De Jong plays the same position as Fred and McTominay. They're both you can't play Fred McTominay and De Jong at the same. It doesn't make any sense.
The only problem is
one of
One of them is going to be dropped. Yeah.
the problem is, Bems, is that you are thinking like a rational footballer, and this is a very unrational time for us. And that's my only point.
Look, another reason why I'm gonna say that I don't agree with you is because De Jong is supposed to be the big money signing of the summer. De Jong, we're waiting this long for De Jong. We're gonna pay De Jong 300 plus a week, and you're gonna bring him into the team and play Fred and McTominay with him.
Nah, bro.
Yep.
Like,
Come on, man.
Yo,
I'm calling it. I'm saying, man.
All
Even
right.
if it doesn't happen
Okay.
week in, week
You
out,
heard
it's
it,
gonna
you heard it.
happen.
You heard it first on this channel that McFred will play.
Look, dude,
with
all
De Jong.
I'm saying is this is worst case scenario, devil's advocate, and it's gonna happen. I'm
worst
telling
case
you right
scenario,
now.
right?
It's
So,
gonna
Let's
happen.
put a
United
20
are
on it.
being
Let's put
linked to
20
a
on it,
few-
Louis, or some beer.
United are
Put
being
some beer
linked
on it.
to.
Let's see if we even get De Jong.
The striker,
that
a
was
Spanish striker United have been linked to. I think he played for Atletico. Is it Atletico or Villarreal? Is it Kucha or something? I can't remember his name. He's the
That
guy
we've been
United-
linked to.
Yeah,
Kucha? Who the
yeah.
hell's Kucha?
He plays. He's a striker for Villarreal or Atletico. I cannot remember which of them he plays for.
Is he any good?
These
Oh,
days,
well, you
United-
know what?
I don't
These
know,
days,
but
we'll
we're
take
about to
anything, we'll take anything.
ESPN the shit out this
We'll
month.
take anything these days. We're accepting applications. Yeah, we've fallen so low right now, and we do
Is
not
that with a
deserve to
K or with
venture
a
our
C?
Arsenal.
I think that's
About to get on that YouTube scouting system.
all them
Yeah, pretty
folks-
much.
See, everyone that says that banters Arsenal, please, you have no right to banter Arsenal anymore.
No,
But
Arsenal,
we're-
no. Arsenal.
Arsenal are
Okay,
coming
hold on.
with it
Oh,
this season.
wait a minute.
You
What?
have- you have
You
no-
know what?
Arsenal
You know
are
what?
coming with it.
Wait, fellas. Let's. I get it. It's been a couple of weeks, right? Now
Here
I
we
can.
go.
No. Wait a minute. Listen
Here
to
we
me
go
now.
again.
Listen to me
fan-
now.
The belief
Wait,
is
wait,
going
no.
back into
Listen,
Joe.
let me speak. Let me speak now. All right, what I'm about to say is, I can look at Manchester United after 2 weeks and be like, yeah,
Cunha. is
we're not
there.
gonna do shit this season. But I'm definitely not finna look at Arsenal for 2 weeks and be like they're gonna be shit hot this season.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
that's
gonna-
that's
The
all I'm
guy's name is. Hold on. The guy's name is there.
that's all I'm saying.
Matthias Cunha. He's
Cunha,
a
how you spell
striker
that?
from-
Cunha.
Cunha.
Okay, yeah, I've heard
He's a
that.
striker from
Cunha.
Atletico Madrid.
Cunha.
Yeah. Cunha.
Oh, it's a C.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know
an
how good he
Atletico
is.
I don't
Madrid
know
striker.
anything about him.
Never heard of him.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but-
I know
These
nothing
are
about
players
we'll
who
take him.
other
I'll
teams are
gladly
not
take
looking
him if
for. We
he's
always go for
ladies.
players who nobody's really looking
Yo,
for.
all of his highlights was made within the
Look.
last 6 hours, bro.
I'll say this.
Like nobody was looking. Nobody was making highlights for this guy
That's what happens.
like more than a year ago.
That's what happens when you
Okay.
when you link to Manchester United. But I will
We're
say this
scraping
though,
the
right?
barrel.
I
If we
I
can
would
get
love to see a
Rabiot-
documentary of the guys that go on YouTube and make these highlight videos. Like, where do they get all the content from? I would love to see how they do that, though. It's so quick.
I'll
They
say this
just
though.
cut,
If we can
they
get
just cut bits to bear and join them all into and make it to collage. And guys
know.
looking great.
The
Ball jump.
music, they cleared the music and everything.
Look
I'm
at the
gonna
Benjamin
say this,
Sesko. Remember wanted to go for Benjamin Sesko? He signed for RB Leipzig. We were linked to him, young guy. We're now linked to the other guys. Sasa Djokovic. He's 24, Slovenian striker, 6'4".
He ain't coming here. He ain't coming.
He ain't
here.
coming. Then
No one's gonna come here.
The saddest part was Manutd, ex-Stoke, ex-West Ham. I'm sorry. That is scraping the barrel now. He went
Yeah,
to
that's-
China when he left West Ham.
Yeah.
He's now at Bologna. Even what's his name? Rodrigo on Chelsea when he was on, he said he would give Martial a run for his money.
Hey Tim.
Yeah.
You know what I was saying? I think this is gonna get worse, right?
Yeah,
Next season, we won't make Champions League next season. And you know what happens
No,
when we don't make
probably
Champions
not.
League next season? We won't. And what happens when we don't make Champions League next season is that
Somebody gets fired.
well, not only that, our spending part reduces a whole lot. And when your spending part reduces a whole lot, you can't buy the players you want. And not only that, the big players don't want to come to you anymore because you're 2 years out of the Champions League. So you're slowly, the road we're taking, we're slowly becoming a mid-table team.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But if you look at it now,
And the only way to fix that would be to get.
We're not top six no more, man. Just let that be known.
look at how much we're going to be paying Dion. 300 plus a week. Is it really worth 300 pounds a week?
Yeah, it's more than 300 plus a week. It's like gonna be like 350.
350 a week.
Dion, if not even 400.
And he better be. This guy better be.
I don't
that
think
good.
he's
No,
that
but
good,
Tim,
He
though.
better
but
be
Tim,
as good as Prime.
No,
is
no,
now.
But guess what? I will take him. Dion, come. I don't care if it's 400 grand a week. I just come, and we need improvements in that midfield, right?
We'll
we
also
need
agree with
improvement.
Yeah, but
We'll
it's
also
got,
agree
yo,
with
Bams,
Rabiot.
it's
We'll
got to
also
be
agree with Rabiot.
400K worth of improvement, though, right?
Oh yeah, you will see improvement. You will see.
Also
400K
forget-
though.
United are closing.
I mean-
they've agreed with Rabiot's mother his agent, Veronica Rabiot, that 200 a week is where they're gonna
Yo.
go.
No,
Is
that guy.
that-
That
no,
Damn it,
guy's
I
worth-
forgot about
That guy's
Rabiot.
not worth that. He's not worth 200.
Yo,
But
bro.
no, see, Joe. Of course, De Jong is not worth 400K a week. I mean, I agree with that. But
Okay.
The way he improves our midfield, bro, it is night and day. Like when this guy comes to them, when he comes, there
Premier
should
League is
be
very
or will
fast.
be a
They don't give time to
complete
settle on the ball
difference.
like in Spain. It's a
Yeah,
faster
but-
league.
I think De Jong is
Just-
the way I've
all I'm saying
I've
is
seen
think-
from him. I think he can adapt very quickly.
Think
Okay.
about who he plays at center back though. Look, think about the players in front and behind him.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna be a learning experience. It's gonna be a shock, right? When he's not gonna have a center back in Harry Maguire that he can count on. You know, it's gonna be a shock where he's gonna be chucking balls over to a Rashford, and that motherfucker, like the play is just gonna die with him. Like, you know, it's just gonna be. I'm just saying, and those things, right? These are things that make him look great now at Barcelona. Those things are going to expose. That's
they're not available.
that's why everybody gets a dip when they come to United, all right? Because a lot of times when we get these really top players that play with top players, we try to fit them and try to get them to play
It's
with
what Ronaldo went through
scrubs,
last season.
you know? Yeah,
The
exactly.
quality around him
It's just-
was so
it's just
bad.
not in the same
It was
mindset.
embarrassing at times.
That's why these guys look completely different when they play internationally, you know, because they're not like the midfield is so important, right? And there's such a brain drain when it comes to Freddie McTominay. Like we just can't get started. That's the thing. That was the crazy thing about last week. We just couldn't get started because we had no control of the midfield at all. We just couldn't put passes together, and the press is just
Brighton
choking us up.
harassed us.
I don't
Brentford did
get
the
it.
same.
I don't
They
get it.
just
Like the
put so much
blueprint's
pressure
right there.
on. They put so much pressure on McFred.
Yeah.
And McFred lose the ball, can't
Yeah.
get the ball, running around, keeping putting the pressure more on the back. So the back is already stressed out as it is because they're not the best there. Then with added pressure, with no midfield in front of them, they're always under pressure. The ball's always returned back.
And I can get we're having issues with the midfield, right? But like I guess we can get around it if we had an established wing and right back pairings. But we don't even know who our wing and right back pairings are. We don't know if Rashford plays better with Malacia or Shaw.
Sure.
We don't know if
Low on Sancho. I thought
Low-
they were building a good relationship
I thought so, but I'm
preseason.
just like I've said before, man.
But I've noticed
I've never seen it with Dalot.
Dalot is putting in more crosses than Sancho. So why is Sancho not putting in crosses into the box?
Wait, have you been watching Dalot's crosses though? Like
The two headers that Ronaldo get, they came from Dalot's crosses, not from Sancho's crosses, bro. That's what I'm saying. He even had to use his
Whether
left-
they're pretty or
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Delon is
Yeah.
the one that's putting in the ball.
What's Sancho doing?
those are two out
Sancho's
of
not putting any balls into the
you know,
box.
I'll give you that, man. You had those two crosses in, but like overall, like in a 5-game span, I don't see that much. I don't see that much crosses coming in for Dalot.
But isn't
You know.
Sancho supposed to also be contributing crosses into the box?
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, Sancho's supposed to contribute crosses, but more of your crosses need to come from your fullbacks, though. Because the way which I think Ten Hag wants to play, or the way like attacking teams play in the league normally is your wingers,
Fullbacks.
right? Your the wingers, either your wingers cut in and your fullbacks stretch the field and make those crosses in. I mean, sometimes you do have situations where your fullbacks cut in and your wingers go wide. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, it just depends on your tactics. But like if you look at Liverpool, the wingers or the wide forwards cut in, and then the fullbacks go wide and spray the balls in.
Right. So as it stands now, we got Liverpool the next game. So if say United do sign Rabiot, where's Rabiot playing? So we get De Jong and Rabiot. So tell me how your midfield is going to look like, Louis. If we get Rabiot
That's
and
easy.
De Jong,
That's easy.
Do we send Rabiot out on loan or?
Oh man.
Look,
come on, bro.
I mean, honestly,
That
if-
was
cover
crazy.
each
Rabiot's
So if
United.
better
you-
than Freddie McTominay. He's an upgrade.
so He is an upgrade. Like as a footballer, he is an upgrade. Wages and his mother, that probably causes you some headaches and some problems, but that's a different issue. If you bring in Rabiot, and you bring in De Jong at the same time, then our midfield, I think, does look completely different. I mean, you still have to find time for Eriksen at some point. You have to find time for, do you keep Bruno? Do you rotate Bruno?
Yeah.
I think what is very clear, and I think what we talked about the last time we were on here, is if you bring in both of these players, it's your midfield is just fucking chaos. It's absolutely chaos. You're trying to distribute 3 slots against 6 players, 4 of whom play the same position. I mean, what it is it's buys that don't, like, yes, individually they are better than those players, but as a system, it doesn't work very well. I think if they have 1 or 2 seasons to play with each other and maybe figure it out, I think down the line you can find some semblance of a system that works there. But what it is it's panic buys. Right. It's buys. You're buying puzzle pieces that don't fit together, and you're gonna maybe kind of try to cut them out with a pair of scissors and try to get them to stick.
So you're saying the time frame is too short for them to make impacts immediately.
The season's already started. So what? Now you're going to bring them in towards the training ground to try to figure out a system and get them vibing and working together.
Disorganization we've been talking about.
Yeah, it all stems from the disorganization.
Look at Spurs. Did any of you see the Spurs Chelsea game yesterday?
Saw that.
You saw organization. Yeah. See the organization. You see what Conte has drilled into those guys. You fight to the delivery of corner kicks. Those last 2 corner kicks, they were really well delivered into the box. Chelsea couldn't handle them, and it resulted in the goal. They fought to the very end. If United, they would have given up already.
Oh yeah,
it's the mental thinking of not giving up is also what Conte has drilled into this team. You can see the passion from the players. Like they're not giving up. They keep fighting to the last. They went to the bridge. You were hell when Ian said this on the opening day that they don't do well at the bridge. But they're hoping this season they'll get a result. They got a result.
It's a fun experience.
Chelsea are still not finished. They've not finished. They're trying to get Aubameyang. If United even want to get Aubameyang, I mean, really, give me a break.
They're trying to get Aubameyang.
No, for real. I would take Aubameyang right now. No, seriously.
Yeah, of course I'll take him.
No, I would take him. I just think it's hilarious that Barcelona already have to sell him after the shambles that they're in, and they have to, have to get rid of everybody, and it's like, how long has he been there?
Season.
I think
that is a revolving ass door. That's what that is.
I think definitely Rabiot is panic buy, but I think if you get Rabiot and get De Jong, I think they will fit well into what Ten Hag wants. I think Ten Hag, as in Rabiot and De Jong, play the double pivot. And then
I was literally just about to say that you could play them in a double pivot.
You play Rabiot and De Jong in a double pivot, and then you play Eriksen at 10 or Bruno at 10. Eriksen and Bruno can fight for that 10 spot. In some games, you can even do this. You can play obviously your double pivot is Rabiot and De Jong for sure. You could play Eriksen at 10, and then probably Bruno at left wing forward in that Rashford position, and put Sancho on the right.
You bring him in a little tighter, but
and play Ronaldo up top, or you can switch Bruno and Sancho, or you play Rashford, or you just leave Bruno on the bench. You sub him in for Eriksen at some point in the game, and then in some games, if we are playing well, in some games you can actually play. You can do a situation where you play a midfield 4 of Rabiot, De Jong, Bruno, Eriksen, and then 2 forwards. You can mix it up different ways. It depends on the way you play. But I would say definitely Rabiot and De Jong will play the double pivot.
Okay.
That means McFred is done with.
So
That's
Rabiot
wishful
and
thinking.
De Jong, would that make a big difference? Considering the EPL is different from Serie A, it's different from La Liga.
Oh, it will
And
make
this
a
is a
difference.
team.
It makes a huge difference. Your midfield looks completely different. However, I don't think that Eric Ten Hag is going to get away with it. That's basically where I'm at. I'm still with the fact that every manager that we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson has coached this football club with their hands tied. That is where we're at.
Ole wasn't a coach.
I certainly think it makes us better though. It definitely makes us better. Anything without Fred McTominay, you know, because it's almost as if like they completely changed it. Like I don't even think the team can execute on what they've been practicing the whole week.
Nope.
Because we got Freddie McTominay.
We got Freddie McTominay. It's like
Yep.
It's like being part of a rowing team, and there's just like two people that just are not doing what they need to do. Oh no, or maybe I should say it's like you ever see those sailboat races that these billionaires be doing? Yeah. It's like it's a team, and there's a lot of timing involved with that, and everybody got to work, in sync.
Yes, in synchronization.
And if you have, can you imagine having that situation and just one or two people are just way off the script from everyone else? That
the script.
Like, and that's exactly what we look like. We just can't, we can't do what we need to do. So if Rabiot comes and makes it just a little bit better, I'll take it.
Okay.
But there's still that fear that if he makes it just a little bit better, then the ownership and the board, they're gonna be all right. Just a little bit, just something to get, because right now the pitchforks are getting sharpened, man. They're getting sharpened.
I hope they are. Shit.
The tires are getting collected. We're about to turn Old Trafford into a Mogadishu, man. This is about to get crazy. Let me stop. But
right.
I mean,
okay.
this is it's getting,
right.
It's getting...
Liverpool next. Louis, I need the predicted score.
Okay. I'm gonna say a 2-0 loss if Klopp plays only academy players. If he plays the starting lineup, it's gonna be like 6-0.
Dang. Joe.
That's where we're at.
4-1 Liverpool.
4-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, 4-1 Liverpool.
Bams.
What scoreline?
Yeah. Old Trafford. Doesn't make a difference.
At Old Trafford?
No, don't make a difference.
If Maguire starts that game,
it's gonna be worse than last season.
Maguire starts that game.
Maguire's starting. He's starting.
I'll tell you this.
4-1.
We won't score. That's one. I'm just trying to think how many goals Liverpool gonna score. Probably about
That's what I said. It depends if they give their young boys a chance.
That don't matter.
Is out.
That don't matter. That don't matter. They're still flug of 6-7 now. That don't matter.
They
didn't have Nunes last season. They still slugged us 5-0.
Yup.
So,
yeah, Nunez being out is not going to
They don't have Mane.
Crickets.
Wait, Nunez is out?
Yeah,
he got a red card.
Oh shit!
He picked up a red card.
They don't have Mane.
Headbutted the center back.
Come on, guys.
They're still gonna make it work. Yeah, I mean they still.
You guys tell me because Mane and Nunes
they just have their center back
there. They won't still beat us.
It's gonna be an absolute flogging, bro.
They still have defensive.
It's going to be an absolute beatdown. It's going to be an absolute beatdown.
They still have defensive players that can put the ball away better than our forwards.
And their midfield is better than ours.
Yeah.
By 10 times, 20 times better than our midfield. They will control the
they're better
the game.
than us in almost
our forwards will get no service.
And the only thing that before would have kept us in this game is mentality and love for this particular fixture. But we are so far from that. We've lost that.
That's had mentality for 3 years.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. If United win against Liverpool, right? Or if we get a result, if we win against Liverpool, I will buy 10 people beers
Next time when our bar.
Well, you heard it on this channel.
You heard it here first.
I said if United beat Liverpool, he's gonna give everyone buy
That's
some
a-
beers at United.
No, not everyone.
Not everyone. He's not a millionaire.
10
He's
people.
not the
10
Glazers.
10 people.
No, 10 people.
10
because I know
10
we're not
people.
gonna win.
10 people. But you know, it might
Of
be
their
too
choice,
cheap. And
right?
the last minute goal, United scored the
Yeah,
last
their
minute.
choice of beer. It's beer.
Their choice of
beer.
beer, right? None of that banquet beer stuff.
Nah,
right?
their choice.
Like
Their choice of beer. And
Okay.
they just one
We
beer.
passing out
Just
Miller
one
Lights
beer.
now.
Just
So,
one beer.
None of
I'll
you
make a
can still
wild
win.
prediction. I'll make a wild prediction.
Go on.
If United pull out a result and they beat Liverpool this weekend, I bet you they lose to Southampton.
Oh, come on. How about we lose to Liverpool and lose to Southampton? How about
And
that?
lose to
So
Southampton.
That's what
that'll be
we-
four
but-
in-
that's
that'll
what
be
I'm
four
worried
in
But
a
about.
I'm
row.
just saying, if
That'll
we
be four
win,
in a row.
if we
No,
win,
no. Like
if we
come on,
win
Louis.
against Liverpool, we lose to Southampton. That's facts.
Louis.
How about
Louis,
no matter
I-
what happens to Liverpool, we're gonna lose to Southampton anyway.
Louis, why you bringing the if in here, man? Because that if is not if it's not possible with United, if it's not like if the if statements is something like if, but that's not possible with us right now.
So you are saying United are losing to Liverpool, losing
Guaranteed,
to Southampton. So that's
guaranteed.
4 in a row.
Oh,
Four in
yeah,
a row,
we-
probably.
I say I do not know when we. I'm seriously serious. I'm very serious. I don't know where we pick up on our first win. I don't see it.
Okay,
I think people are beginning to forget. Arsenal last season lost 3 in a row. and
Come
still
on,
Ten Hag-
come on,
No.
This is a different. This is
Ben,
different.
Ben, hold on. I'm talking generally now. I'm not
Nah,
I'm talking
general
general.
don't fit in this context.
Arsenal lost 3 in a row. The fans went ballistic. They still finished above us. We didn't
Nah,
lose
Tim.
3 in a row.
Nah, Tim, but
Okay,
we're
I'll
about
say
to.
this, Tim.
We're
I'll
about
say
to
this,
win,
Tim.
lose 3 in a row, bro.
I'll say this,
Oh.
Tim. If Ten Hag is, I mean, obviously we still have a chance, but it would take a
Oh, come on,
significant
man.
jump. Ten Hag, like, if,
guys.
listen.
Oh,
If we pull off some results, like let's say we beat Liverpool and Southampton, right? We got to give it all. It's got to be all Ten Hag. Like Ten Hag got to be like, oh, this is stuff that he had to have implemented, because the jump in improvement that needs to happen is not something that I feel these guys are going to be able to manifest on their
let me say this. How does a person? I'm just saying when they say this team needs open heart surgery, right? How if a team needs open heart surgery, that means the heart is weak. Heart can't perform. How
Which
do
is the
you,
midfield,
the weak
midfield,
heart-
the heartbeat.
And go win games when you haven't performed the open heart surgery?
Well, I'll say this, and this is something that because I didn't really know too much about Ten Hag's history before he was linked to United, right? But my boss is Dutch. He's followed the Dutch league his entire life.
No,
And so he basically had to explain to me Ten Hag's background. And this is the only glimmer of hope I have for the very distant future, right? Definitely not now. Is that everywhere Ten Hag has gone, he's had, and I had to look it up, but he's had very poor starts. He had a very poor start with Ajax. Players apparently hated him. They hated his coaching style. It was he's very on you. It, like basically like every step, like he's one of those coaches like that has like we talk about stopping moments, right? You don't want to stop your players too much, but like they'll be in training, he'll make a pass, he'll be like, stop, no, you're supposed to be here, do this,
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
play,
We
stop,
saw a lot of
okay.
that.
And a lot
He
of
wasn't
players hate that. And a lot of players hate that, but it was at Ajax. Before that, he was at Oltrik. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I'm not Dutch. But I mean, historically, he is a player, or he is a coach, sorry, that has very, very poor starts and is able to turn teams around. And I mean, I guess that's the idea. And again, this season is going to be shambolic. It already is. So if there's any glimmer of hope for the Ten Hag future, then that's it. However, if he gets fired next season, it doesn't fucking matter anyway. So
Louis,
I mean, that's
Louis, you're playing with our hearts right now.
Yo, he's pulling. He's
I
pulling,
swear to
man.
God.
I'm a Manchester United fan, bro.
Okay.
I love this club.
You do this to
You're
me.
playing
I love this club, bro.
You
One
pull
at a
me
time,
in.
one
because
at a
right
time, one
now,
at a time. One
You
at a
pull
time.
me in. I'm not gonna lie. You pull me in because that's the only. See, if there's only any hope, like 0.0002% of hope that I have is just that. I hope it works out.
That's all the hope
We
that
can
I
only
have. I'm just
hope.
trying to share.
The season,
I'm just trying to
I
share.
would say the season
Louis?
is still the season I just started. It's always good to start.
Oh man,
Louis,
It's not
Louis,
don't remember Benz and Joe. Remember, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yo, we
Unless
know,
you're
bro.
fired by the
Yo,
Glazers, then it's a sprint. And
Yo.
that's the only thing is like managers with this style who play a possessive style, it takes a long time to learn it. It takes a long time to teach such a style. And-
This is us, man.
yeah,
Tim,
pretty much.
Tim, this is us. This is
Yeah, pretty
us.
much. But
You
but
said
here's
it's
the
not a
thing.
sprint, but look at us, man. Look at us.
Oh man.
So,
That's a good
Here's-
one.
right. So,
Every
gentlemen,
week, every day, it's something.
Yeah.
Every
right,
week,
so,
every day, it's something,
Louis,
bro.
Louis, any last
The-
words? Last words.
Basically what I was saying and what my last words are is like, yes, this style takes a long time to implement, and a manager has to be able to be given that time. Simultaneously, he has to be backed. Ten Hag has not been backed. And he has to be able to fulfill his contract. If he's not able to do that, if we say, oh, you lost your first, if we lose the first 4 games, if we don't make top 4, if we don't make Champions League, if we're in the Conference League next year, it's a very, very good chance that he gets fired. And then everything that he did work on is for
Starts
naught.
all over again.
So it starts all over again. And frankly, that's we are as a football club. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, the players need a kick up the ass. Yes, the staff needs a kick up the ass. But really what it all boils down to is a board and an ownership that doesn't give a fuck whether the club wins or loses, as long as at the end of the day, they get their number 1 signing, and that's dividends. That's their number 1 signing every time.
I'll say this one thing about Ten
Thank you,
Hag.
Louis. Joe, that's the last word. What's his last word?
I'll just say this one
I
quick
got
thing.
some last
No,
words too after
I'll
Joe.
let Bems
Yeah.
finish.
Not,
All right,
yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
this. I'll say this one thing about Ten Hag. This should have happened sooner, but Ten Hag is the first manager since Alex Ferguson that I am willing for him to lose an entire locker room, and I couldn't care less.
Facts.
Get him
Facts.
out.
Facts.
I don't care.
Facts.
If
Facts.
every
That's
single
facts.
person, there is not
Yeah.
a single soul
Snaps.
in that locker room that I will choose over Ten Hag, and that includes Mr. Ballon d'Or, Cristiano Ronaldo. Everyone can go. That's
Yeah.
it.
Joe, Bems, last word.
Okay.
You
Okay.
gotta get off the slide, man.
I completely agree with everything Joe just said. I don't care about any play in that dressing room. All I care about is Eric Ten Hag. I feel this guy has got something in him. He's a good coach. I feel we have a good coach in our hands here. And from what Louis said, Louis was drawing me in. Then I had to go back and think back. I said, oh man, the only thing that would mess that up is the Glazers.
Is the
The
Glazers.
only way,
Is the
Glazers,
the only
man.
way
Yo,
is the
you know it.
Glazers. And
know it.
when I was getting real happy for like 2 seconds, and then I thought about it. The Glazers. I'm like,
Glazers.
Yeah. The Glazers are the problem, but at the same time, I just still feel the players could do a bit more. They just could do a bit more. Mentally, they could do a
a
bit
lot
more.
more.
They
could
could
a
do
lot
more. I mean, like Ben said, the players are not totally shit. Because if you look at the caliber of players there, you got Sancho, you got Ronaldo. Yeah, they're not even getting any service. But the heartbeat of the team is not functioning. That means, but it's the same heartbeat over the last 3 years. I don't understand how they've not said priority CDM. Get a CDM. It's like they're looking of other spots. What are the CDM position? You just let Matic fit old.
CDMs don't sell
neglected that
t-shirts.
position.
It,
Ole neglected that position.
You're right. CDM
Ole-
don't sell it. What Ole did was turn 2 players into a CDM. So you're playing 2 guys to do
Yeah.
to do the
Job
job of
one.
1 person.
Yep.
So it's just like, and they still couldn't even get that right.
If we
And they
could have
still couldn't
played,
do it.
if we could have played with 12 guys on the pitch, we
Yeah,
probably would
that'll
have won
work.
more games because Fred McTominay won players.
It's the one that would. It's just sad. It's sad, and all like I said, it was just that soak up the pressure, hit them on a break, soak up, and we were doing that even at home. But it is what it is. But we have to move away from McFred. We can't. I was so concerned, like, okay, we still haven't signed a midfielder. We didn't get to see them. We started the season, and I knew it was going to be McFred going to start us off because there's no one else. We are weaker in the middle than we were last season.
Yep.
And in the front too.
Yeah, we let Pogba and Matic have gone, and Mata, and we've not replaced any of them.
And Cavani is gone.
And
Cavani is gone in the attack.
Cavani has issues. And the minute they stopped him going to Uruguay for rehabilitation. Oh, I'm not ready. My body don't feel right. That guy's a clown. I'm glad.
No, I agree. But we still lost him. We lost him. We lost Greenwood. Who else did we lose in the attack?
Poor fucking Greenwood. God damn. What a big fuck
like
up that
guys,
was.
all we need is one injury.
What an idiot.
Just one injury. Just one injury in the attack. Like, you see what Martial got injured. Imagine if Cristiano Ronaldo gets injured, because
we're screwed.
In the whole season, you are guaranteed going to get injuries to at least one or two people.
We're going to be back
we
to
saw that
Rashford.
false 9 against Brighton. It did not work at all.
We've never had a successful false 9. We've tried it several times, and we've tried it several times, and it's failed literally every single time.
We're not that skillful kind of team. We're not Barcelona who played false 9.
Yeah, we're not a skillful team. Yeah,
we're not that. Right, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Another scintillating talk today with United fans. Joe, you're gonna shut us down. So, right, it's been great. We've talked about the game against Liverpool. We talked about the surgery against Brentford. De Gea, I feel for De Gea. I was happy he was bold enough as a man to say, I put my hand up. I messed up. I get it. It's not easy to admit. It is what it is. That goal, the first goal, the shot was not even hot. It just
he
just messed up.
Yeah,
he just messed up.
He just messed up.
And when you now start seeing Dean Henderson saving penalties, you're looking like,
I don't give a damn, man.
I don't give a hoot about what Dean Henderson is doing,
I don't care. Nah,
that guy can
I just said I'll throw that in there because he made some scintillating saves against
the new controversial one.
He can kick rocks.
He won't be.
I mean, if he wants to, if he's really as great as he thinks he is, then he's gonna show us out, right? He's gonna see. I want to see him come back up, right, to a top team: Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, whatever, Tottenham, whatever, right? And then show us, right? That's all I'm saying, right? You don't have nobody has a natural right to this team. And that's the problem that we have in this team. We have too many bums that think they need to be the dude, and they're not. They're not the man. They're not. Too many people that think they're the man. They are not. So he needs to stay his ass
against
over.
Liverpool. This last question: what should be the center back pairing against Liverpool? Louis, who should be the two center backs against Liverpool?
The only thing that I think could be functional would be Martinez and Varane, but Maguire's going to start. So,
Team, you want to just go through the starting 11 real quick, or you don't have time?
Oh, we could go through the starting 11 for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Again, okay, let's go. Joe, you want to start us off? The 11 people are going to start against Liverpool. Your predicted 11.
My predicted, I mean, it's who I want and who I think is going to be. Center back pairing is going to be it's probably going to be Martinez and Maguire again. If goes some balls, he'll probably make it Varane and
Maguire.
Bailly. Actually, I'll take Varane and Bailly for this game. I'll take Bailly and Varane, but it's probably the best one should be Varane and Maguire. That's what he's going to pick.
And left back is shot on Malaysia.
It's got to be
most
likely at this point, man.
It's most likely going to be Shaw, but I think if we want any kind of change, it has to be Malaysia.
Yeah.
But again, I doubt it. And Delo will probably start again on the right.
Where it really should be Wan-Bissaka. If you want to talk about, let's just like if you have a team that scores
Should
so
be, but it's not
dynamically,
going to.
we need to be able to shut. We need to be able to shut parts of the field down, right? and you only get that with Wan-Bissaka. We just
Yeah,
need him to shut.
He's just more
upside down.
defensive overall.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if we need to make it work some other way, then let's do it. But let's go ahead and shut, because
And the
man,
midfield
their
three?
wings.
Midfield three?
That's how they make their money, man. So
Midfield 3, the only change I see is it's probably going to be McTominay instead of Fred. So it's going to be Fernandez, McTominay, and Eriksen starting in the midfield again. And I mean, that's probably the only change. We might see some minutes from Donny in like the 80th minute when we're already down 4-0, 5-0. But I mean, it's a fact. Donny is efficient, but he's not creative, so he doesn't start. And that's just, I mean, and he's not as tall as McTominay, so
And the front
you
three?
have that. Front three doesn't change. It's Sancho, Ronaldo, and Rashford. Yeah, it doesn't change.
Okay. For me, my
Yeah.
starting 11, it's just a tough one. My starting 11, I am gonna say Bailly, Varane. Right back.
Varane.
Yeah.
Bailly, Varane.
Bailly,
Varane,
Varane.
man.
Yeah,
Man,
Bailly,
you were
Varane.
living in La La Land, but I would
Bailly's
rate
the
so
X
hard.
factor,
No,
man.
I'm just this is the
I
team that I
love
would play.
Bailly. I just think he's not
This
going to
is the team-
start.
Yeah, I'm just if we're
Oh, your
we're
team,
what
your
we
starting
want.
11.
Yeah, this is my
Yeah,
starting 11.
your starting 11.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
respect.
Bailly, Varane. Right back, I'm gonna put Wan-Bissaka.
Okay.
Left back, I'm gonna put it's a tough one between Luke Shaw and Malacia. It's a tough one. I'll probably just go ahead and put Luke Shaw just because I mean this is gonna be a big game, and Malacia is new to the league. It's Liverpool.
But
I just
Shaw's
put
so
Luke Shaw.
slow. He's so slow against those forwards for Liverpool.
No, he's actually fast though. He's just his head's gone. His head's gone somewhere. I don't know where it's at. Then midfield, I would say midfield. I will put. I would say, man, it's tough, man. Fred and Donny. I'll say Fred and Donny. 10. I will put Eriksen. Right
Dropping
wing.
Bruno.
Right wing, I'll put Sancho. Left wing, left wing, Rashford. I would even go. Man, yeah, I guess I have no choice but to play Rashford, and obviously up top, CR7. That'd be my team.
If I had a choice, I'd play Garnacho over.
Yeah, if I I would like to play Garnacho over Rashford, but Garnacho is
that kid just looks hungry, man. He's hungry. He's hungry, and when he loses the ball, you know he's gonna get right the fuck back up, man, and get out of there.
Right.
I wouldn't mind playing Garnacho over Rashford either. Yeah, that'd be my team.
Yeah, that'd be good, right, gentlemen?
It's not a bad team.
No, it's not a bad team.
Solid.
Varane and Bailly would be like two guys who are agile, who are quick. But
Yep.
I just feel Harry has to be there. He has.
No, Harry doesn't have to be there.
He
He
definitely
doesn't have to, but
to.
he will be there.
He will be there.
He will be
He's
there.
gonna.
You know, he
Yeah.
made some bad. He was poor on Friday, on Sunday. It was horrible. On Saturday, it was horrible. But where do you draw the line? Like, you know what, bro?
He needs to go fight his case, man, and just be on leave or something.
Yeah.
Like I said, if he's not injured or he's not suspended, he has to play. He
Yeah.
has to play. So unless and he doesn't get injured a lot because he doesn't put his leg in a lot of tackles. You know.
Yeah, if you're never in a duel, you don't get injured. If you don't
There
jump
you
for
go.
balls,
Yeah,
you don't
you know,
get injured.
Exactly.
If you don't-
If you're only
if you don't-
behind a striker, and yeah, you're good.
Say what you want about Phil Jones, but how many times did he put his head amongst the boots, literally,
Yeah,
to get the
yeah.
ball out? You'll
Yeah.
never, ever, ever, ever see Maguire do that. Mark my words. Ever.
I mean, Jones and Smalling were not the greatest, but they
They
were.
bled for the club.
They fought for the club.
That's
I
wild,
can't
man. Yo, that's wild, bro. Yo, you remember how much we used to hate the Chuckle Brothers, man?
Yeah, the
Yo, we
Chuckle
can
Brothers,
play.
yeah. But now
Wait a minute.
we have worked with the
Tim,
Chuckle
Tim,
Brothers. We
Yeah,
have.
when we upload this, when we upload
I'm sure
this,
a lot
right,
of fans will take
we
them
gotta
now.
make like a cut in this point and then just show like a good 3 minutes of us dogging these dudes, man. And now we're like, oh my God, you know, it's not.
But-
It's funny. It's funny how time flies.
They had passion. These clowns
They did.
are just not there.
Bro, yo, what's so?
Yeah, that's
At least- at
facts.
least
That's
so-
reality.
So at least
That's
one was
facts.
worse than the other. At least Smalling, he wasn't the most skillful player, but he read the game. Jones was just all over the place. Jones,
All
Hey,
over
look.
the place, man.
Because
Wasn't
he's
the Chuckle
Superman.
Brothers?
Jones was the own goal scorer. Oh, because he's facing the wrong direction. You see what I mean?
Wasn't it the Chuckle Brothers that played at center back when we came from 2-0 down against City a few seasons ago when
Yes.
when Mourinho was
Yeah,
was the
man.
manager?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
halftime, we came from 2-0 down, and one of those Chuckle Brothers, Smalling, scored.
He
So where'd he
scored.
go?
Yeah,
I know, I
did.
know,
Oh,
I
man.
know.
Yes, he
I know.
did.
Man.
Yes, he
I know,
did.
I know. We've had some good times with them Chuckle Brothers, man. We had some
When
good
was
times.
Maguire's last goal? When?
Man.
I think it was the season that Ole was in charge.
Actually, it was
The
when Tim
last
was,
goal for England was last. It was
nah. It
No,
was
no, no,
when-
no. England doesn't count. I'm
No,
talking
for
about
Man
when was his
United,
last
for Man
United goal?
United,
No,
for Man
it's-
United again in Champions League last season under
Nah, it was when
Ragnick.
it was when Tim was 15 years old when he last scored.
Look at Koulibaly, man.
He
First
saw
game.
that volley. First goal.
Boom.
He saw that volley against Koulibaly yesterday
You know,
against
Koulibaly.
the wild thing about Maguire is he was brought in because he was supposed to be able to score. But the thing about him is he gets shots at goal, but he always is never on target.
Never.
It's never on
Harry
target.
Maguire?
He now blocks
Yeah, he
his
always-
other fellow United
always
players who are
gets
trying to
chances.
score,
He
kick their
always gets
head,
chances.
block them.
Yeah.
That's
He gets
clumsy.
chances, but he never puts it on target.
No,
That's the
It's hard to turn that massive fucking head.
Right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
It was a nice show.
Great day.
Fifth time we tried to end the call. All right.
Yeah.
So Joe,
shit.
do us. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. If we've got any breaking news, we'll let you know during the week. But Man United still looking for the first win of the season. From us, it's goodbye and good night. Joe, Louis, and Ben. Thank you very much.
Nice. See you guys later, man.
Good night,
Nice
guys.
one.
Good talking.
Nice one. Nice.